Greetings Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance and welcome back to another episode of our Talisman Series. Today we continue our journey through the Progress faction, also known by many players as the Engineers. And as always in this series, our goal is not simply to say one talisman is good and the other is bad. We want to understand how both talismans change a hero and whether one is clearly superior, or if each one creates a different identity depending on the fight. That's what makes talismans such an interesting system in hero wars. Unlike skins, glyphs, artifacts, relics and most other progression systems that stay permanently fixed once invested in, talismans give us flexibility. They allow us to adjust a hero before battle and completely change the way that hero behaves from one matchup to another. For hero hitters especially, understanding this system becomes extremely important because choosing the correct talisman can completely change the result of an attack. And remember Guardians, whenever we talk about talisman stats in this series, we always mention the fixed main stat first and the re-rollable secondary stat second. Now with that out of the way, let's continue progress and move into one of the most iconic support heroes this faction ever produced. Isaac. A founding piece of the famous JJI core alongside Julius and Judge, and a hero that remains relevant because of one very important thing. Consistency. Isaac is not the kind of support that jumps into battle trying to carry through damage. His value comes from creating conditions that allow the rest of the team to function at maximum efficiency. His drones offer shielding, healing, armor penetration and support while his debuffs constantly interfere with the enemy team. Then when the timing is right, his ultimate can completely change the rhythm of battle, and amplify the pressure of your damage dealer. Because of that, when we build Isaac we are not searching for explosive numbers. We are searching for reliability. Keep that in mind because this idea becomes very important when comparing his talismans. Isaac's first talisman is the Talisman of Technology. This was originally one of the premium talismans released during early talisman fever rotations and required a very serious investment at the time. Looking at the stats immediately makes this one interesting. Its main stat is agility and its re-rollable secondary stat is physical attack. And Guardians. 16,000 physical attack is not a small number. Immediately this starts looking like a very natural fit. Then we arrive at his second option. The Talisman of Innovator. This one followed a completely different release philosophy and was available for free during its original event. Its stat package however is completely different. Main stat, toughness, secondary stat, crushing. And suddenly the comparison becomes more interesting because there is something missing. Physical attack. None. At first this made us raise our eyebrows. Not because toughness or crushing are bad stats, but because Isaac does not behave like a damage dealer, and does not naturally look like a hero that benefits from abandoning his usual scaling path. Still, we always try to keep an open mind. So let's go back to our two factors. First, how do the skills scale? Looking through Isaac's abilities, one thing becomes obvious very quickly. Physical attack appears a lot. Multiple parts of his kit receive value from increasing physical attack, and because of that the contribution from technology starts becoming more meaningful than it first appears. More physical attack means stronger interactions across several abilities and more value generated through the things Isaac already wants to do naturally. That immediately gives technology an advantage. But skills alone never decide the winner. Now we move into the second factor. Role? What does Isaac actually do inside a team? Guardians? Support. Shield. Heal. Buff. Debuff. create stability. His job is not to finish enemies. His job is to create conditions for others. And this is where we start struggling with Innovator. Because toughness and crushing don't reinforce the identity that most progress teams ask from Isaac. Those stats feel disconnected from the version of Isaac that players usually build and rely on. Meanwhile, technology strengthens exactly what Isaac already does well. More contribution. More consistency. More reliable support. More value over long fights. And because progress teams naturally like slower build-up and controlled pressure, this fits beautifully. So for us, the recommendation becomes clear. Talisman of Technology wins. Not because Innovator is unusable. Not because Innovator has bad stats. But because technology simply feels more aligned with Isaac's natural design and the role players expect him to perform. And there is another positive here. Availability. Technology periodically appears in the Eternal Frontier Merchant for 700,000 coins. So if you are building Isaac and see it appear, grab it. It creates a meaningful difference, and we believe it remains the stronger long-term investment. Meanwhile, Innovator remains difficult to predict, and currently we don't believe players are missing out on anything critical by waiting. Progress continues to be one of the smartest factions in Hero Wars, and Isaac remains one of the best examples that understanding a hero's role often matters more than simply chasing unusual stats. But now, Guardians, we want your opinion. Do you agree with technology? Have you tested Innovator? Did we miss a situation where you prefer the second talisman? Leave your thoughts below, because these discussions always help everyone build smarter. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and as always, salute and friendship.